Hello there, my friend, and welcome to the Disney Travel Secrets Show podcast YouTube channel. It's a buffet. I think we're good. Rob and Kerri Stuart here, coming to you from the CMV studio in Orlando, Florida. You're listening to episode number 430, original air date, May 12th, 2025.
And we are looking forward to our cruise in September on our Week on the Wish cruise. And there are still some really great cabins that are available.
Yes, there are.
And what we are most excited about is that we will be sailing in concierge on this one.
And since there are still some great concierge cabins still available, we thought that this would make a really good topic for today's show, which is aptly named Cruising Concierge with Disney.
Hello, my friends. This is former Disney Imagineer Hugh Darley, and you're listening to Disney Travel Secrets with my friends Rob and Kerri Stuart. As you can imagine, I have plenty of Disney secrets myself, and I can't wait to share them with you. Let's get this show on the road. Take it away, guys.
If you are watching us on YouTube, and you may notice right now I'm wearing glasses, which I don't normally do, but this is a really good reason to be listening to us or watching us on YouTube. I am wearing the new Ray-Ban Meta AI glasses. So if you're on YouTube, you're actually seeing exactly what I'm seeing, which is our teleprompter and the rest of our studio. My desk is over to that area over there.
No, but this is going to be really cool. And this is another reason why you want to make sure that you're subscribed to our YouTube channel, because we will be doing some more walkthroughs with the Meta glasses in the parks. And that will also include doing some live broadcasts from our Facebook and our Instagram. So make sure that you are following those pages.
I'll say this is the hardest thing, because I normally would look at you while you're talking, but I can't, because they would see.
You're trying to make it a good
no, it's not that.
user experience
they would
for
see
the viewer.
Messy part of our kitchen in the studio, and we don't want to show that. So
okay.
I am going to stop recording on the glasses. But again, stay tuned. Join us on our Disney Travel Secrets YouTube page, because we will have some clips of walking through the parks with these. These are, I got these yesterday as opposed to the day we're recording. These are really cool. I do not need the Apple EarPods anymore, or AirPods, whatever they call them. I can listen to podcasts.
I just can't
music,
wait to see how it's going to be when we're in the parks, though, and doing some of the walk.
Okay, so as we're doing this live, I will turn off the video. Okay, now I'm taking these off, and we're back to normal. Again, these are really cool, and I think it's going to be a game changer for anybody that is doing any type of content, travel or otherwise, because it'll give you a very unique POV, point of view, where you don't have to be holding a phone. You don't have to be doing whatever. You can just kind of look. I will say the biggest caveat with using these is most people, they're taking video and they're looking around, and that will totally mess it up. So you have to be
very slow. And
I'm still practicing. So if that video was a little jerky,
I thought you did pretty good.
I'm still a rookie. So let's get into the show. And I do want to say that even though we're not able to book guests from the UK, it's always nice knowing that we have friends and listeners over there as well. So thank you, Roz, from the UK, for the very nice email.
Yes, you and your teens are going to have a great time this summer. And what I love about the UK visitors is they get to take very long vacations.
No, they don't. They're called holidays.
Holidays, okay. But that means you get to enjoy things like the water parks, Disney Springs, some of those cool tours, and even some fun off-property things like Discovery Cove.
So if you are from outside the US and you listen to our show, please reach out to us so we can thank you personally on this very podcast buffet smorgasbord.
So at this time, when we're recording this, there is no word yet on the Mickey's Not So Scary Halloween party tickets. So hopefully by saying that, we just jinxed it and it'll get announced like tomorrow. And then this will sound out of date. But we do have a link to get on our VIP list to get those tickets when they are ready.
So in Disney news, I would say they made a crazy announcement that I don't think anyone knew. I absolutely did not see this coming. But they announced a new park, and it's a completely new destination. And if you were listening to this show maybe next year in April, you're going to think it's an April Fool's joke. It is not. So they're launching a brand new destination. They're 7th in the world, and that is Abu Dhabi. Now, don't get excited just yet, because this is not going to happen until, they're saying, the early 2030s. So I'll be in my 60s, but who cares? I'll still have fun.
Yeah, we are still going to go for sure. But I want to at least go see the Tokyo parks first.
I agree.
We really have to get over there. I'm not as excited about Hong Kong and Shanghai, but we definitely want to make sure that we visit those so we can say that we've seen all of them.
Yes. Okay, so that is true, but I am already imagining a Disney vacation combined with an F1 race, because that yearly race is going to be right by the new Disney parks. So we will have more updates for you very, very soon. Meaning maybe in the next few years? I don't know.
I know. So that's going to be something new and exciting to look forward to, because if you've ever looked at anything in Abu Dhabi, they do it up. So this part can be pretty crazy.
You would think they could build it faster. It's like, you guys don't need 7, probably maybe 8 years to build this thing.
I think they can do it.
Okay. We will stay tuned for that. So when we sail on the Disney Wish in September later this year, it'll be our 3rd time cruising on that ship. But our first time doing it in concierge.
Yeah. So the only other time that we have cruise concierge with Disney was when we were on the Disney Wonder in Alaska. And that experience was incredible. The club itself was pretty small and intimate on that 7-day cruise.
It was.
So you knew most of the people by day 2 or 3.
But I really think that the staff, I think they knew everyone probably by the end of the first day. Again, their concierge staff is the best of the best when it comes to cruising with Disney. And that means across any of the ships, especially the new ones. We'll keep you posted on the Wish for sure.
So I enjoyed things like we got to hang out with the captain one time. He just came up to the club. We had a private character meet and greet with Stitch, and that was kind of a surprise. And then we also had access to exclusive merchandise only for guests in this area.
Okay, I totally forgot that, because we both bought the all white hats with the keys on it for concierge. This time, I think I'm going to try to get the ones that have the black keys, so you can see. They do. Now, before you say it's too expensive, let's look at it a little bit differently. We have clients who splurge on their vacations, and a concierge level stateroom, it's more than just a little bit bigger a room or one of those bigger, I guess, the bigger suites. So
yeah. So one thing to keep in mind is it's never a price comparison.
No.
The math is never going to work out, because this is 100% about the experience. So on our September cruise, a balcony, just a regular one, costs just under $3,000. The entry level for concierge is around $5,800. So it is quite a bit more, but it's totally worth it for many, many reasons. And we're going to share all of those with you.
Also know, if your friends are not in concierge, you cannot bring them in as a guest.
Yes. And that is also true if you are staying at the concierge at Disney's Grand Californian.
Specifically.
Yes, we found that out the hard way. We thought we'd have some friends over, have a couple drinks, and no, they didn't like that. Okay, so moving on back to the ships.
So why are we doing concierge? You might ask yourself. So we have a group of friends and some clients of ours that are staying concierge, including our friend Steve Hamilton from the Hamilton Collection. If you are a car person, you probably know him. And most of the group is doing concierge. So we said, we're just going to splurge. Let's do it.
Yeah. And to be clear, even as travel agents, we're paying the same price as everyone else. And we are kind of doing this for the experience and the research.
We are.
But we have sent so many people on the Concierge on the Wish and the Treasure, and soon the Destiny. And the feedback we get is that area is so much bigger than the smaller ships. So it is a different experience. And so I'm excited to report back on our firsthand experience.
Now, the benefits do start way before you even get on the ship. Now, in our case, the cruise starts on September 22nd. But as long as we are paid in full by May 14th, which we will be, we can submit our request at midnight on May 15th. And then in 10 days, the concierge team starts getting things booked for people that are staying at that level.
Yeah, and so here's the key. This is the only way to get those hard to get cabanas. And keep in mind that even some of the Pearl guests or those with the higher status, they still get even a few more days ahead of the concierge. But if it is your first Disney cruise, you have the best shot of getting the excursions, the dining, the cabanas, and that hard to get Royal Gathering when you are in concierge.
Ah, yes, the elusive Royal Gathering. So let's go over what the experience really is and what it offers. So
in my opinion, if you value your time and you don't want to stress over all those important deadlines and timelines that Disney requires, concierge is for you.
So in addition to the pre-cruise reservations, you also have priority boarding. And let me tell you, this is amazing. Even when you get like from gold to platinum, you get better boarding, but this is like, let's just, we're going to helicopter you into the ship. Okay,
Almost.
So you will be among the first to board the ship, even better, since you automatically have priority boarding. If you miss grabbing your port arrival time at your 30-day window, no problem.
Yeah, I remember that when we went to Alaska on the Wonder, and it was summer, a lot of people are traveling. We have a lot of things going on. I completely forgot about our check-in until we were about 2 weeks out. But you know what? No worry, no pressure. We were automatically in that priority group. And even if we wanted to show up later, we still would have been put in the fast lane.
That is correct. So when you do board, you get to enjoy a nice sit-down lunch. And that's where you're going to meet the concierge team.
And I loved this pacing. It wasn't rushed, no crazy buffet. It was table service. Even came with a nice glass of champagne or two.
Yes, it did. So one thing we're specifically looking forward to is the concierge lounge. So for the Wish, it is located on deck number 12. Now, there is a private sun deck on deck 13 and also some hot tubs up there as well.
Yeah. And also, the lounge is going to have complimentary snacks and beverages, which include not just sodas and waters, but beer, wine, and even some evening cocktails. And on one of our past Disney Wish cruises, we did buy the spa pass, more just to have a quiet area to just chill and have access to some hot tubs that weren't going to be super crowded. So I feel like the concierge deck is going to replace that.
Yeah. So there are also concierge hosts available to assist with pretty much anything that you're going to need during your cruise. Now, I don't know if you've ever needed to stand in that guest services line for a question. It might have been really simple. There were 20 people in line.
50.
50. No need for that if you're staying in concierge.
And, you have all the fancy suites like the funnel suite, the 2-story bedroom suites, the 1-bedroom suites. Those are automatically included at this level, but the standard staterooms in this category are going to be slightly larger than the regular verandas. And so this is also where if you want to get one of those really large ocean views with the floor to ceiling windows, it's only in this category.
And for some families that aren't comfortable with the balcony, maybe, I get it, maybe you have small kids. This is a great option to not have a balcony, but also in the concierge category, the room decor and amenities in general are also very much what we call plussed up.
And one thing I really like about this style of travel, like I mentioned, is the conveniences and the time savings, because time is money, even on a vacation and on your cruise.
Not just at the parks.
Not just at the park. But no, I love the perk of being able to order room service from a main dining restaurant if you just don't feel like going and sitting in the main dining.
That is something really cool, because if you're in a regular cabin, okay, we're going to say it. If you're in the peasant section.
It's not the peasant section. Every cabin on a Disney cruise is fantastic.
That's an inside kind of a family joke. But if you're in a non-concierge cabin, is that okay? Mm-hmm. Then you'll have a room service menu that is very specific. Only certain things that you can get. In concierge, if you don't feel like going out and being around a lot of people and you just want to have a filet mignon and a baked potato and a salad, they will deliver that right to your room. Mm-hmm. But how about the priority seating at the shows? And this is something we really noticed in Alaska. No more needing to get there early, fight the crowds, make sure you got your popcorn and your soda. And we loved this specifically on our Alaska cruise.
Yeah, they even gave us popcorn and sodas. It was amazing.
They did. So again, what's cool about this benefit is we will meet before the show, whether we're doing early dinner or late dinner. We'll meet before the show in the lounge. They'll take us down a private elevator and then take us backstage, hand us a soda, some popcorn, and we go get to pick our seats before they even open the doors to the show, which means because of concierge, we can just grab the first row and see the Disney shows up close, which is one of the best places to be able to see them.
Yeah, I wonder how they'll seat us on the Wish, because it definitely was different with the Wonder, because the Wonder's a much smaller ship. Because we did backstage access. It was kind of cool.
I've heard, and we don't know, we're going to come back to you probably late September, early October. And we're going to let you know. But from what I've heard, there's a private elevator, kind of like the Wonder, that takes you right down to that level, and they walk you backstage. Kind of cool.
So the other big benefit are those character meet and greets. And I can't tell you how often we have had clients who didn't get that Royal Gathering reservation when it opened up for them. It's hard. And if you miss it, don't beat yourself up.
Well, what about that other thing, which is Olaf's Royal Picnic, that maybe you haven't heard of? It is for kids ages 3 to 12, but it fills up. And most guests do not even get a shot of booking this, which is kind of sad.
But the concierge level definitely does. But the benefits are especially valuable when it is the shorter cruises where you really want to maximize what you're going to be doing on board because you do have better access. And really, I'm looking forward to smaller crowds at certain times.
Now, the feedback we get from our clients is, I will say, very similar to this type of experience on any cruise ship when you're, whether you're in a private suite or club level areas. And here is the feedback. It's hard to go back.
And that is so true with Disney. But it also, we've heard the same thing with Norwegian and the Haven, MSC Cruises, their yacht club area, and then also the concierge levels on Royal Caribbean.
And when it comes time to get off the ship, the time I think we all hate the most, the concierge guests are prioritized. This does make disembarkation a lot easier.
Yeah, of course, if you're like Rob and I, we like to hang out as long as we can. But it is nice when we're ready to go. And last time we were just escorted off by one of our concierge hosts. We did that on the Wonder, and I love that.
I totally forgot that. Yeah. So here's a feedback from one of our clients and friends, Tracy, who just got off the May the 4th cruise and splurged on concierge. She would totally do it again.
Yeah, she said she loved it. And she said what she loved was she was in a group, probably on Facebook or something. And she said, people were saying that, well, the concierge cabins, that would be nice, but those are like $12,000. And she's like, text me, she goes, I didn't pay that, did I? And I was just like, you would have known if you did. But I said, let me do some spot check. And I said, yeah, sadly, some people are very misinformed. And they immediately then see that number and cancel themselves out of considering doing concierge. Yeah. In her opinion, this was her first time doing it. She did start in a regular cabin, had some friends that were going to be in one of the suites and said, you know what, we're going to go ahead and upgrade. And she said it was fantastic. She would do it again and did not feel like she was like, I kind of wasted my money. She didn't think that at all.
And I think that's the feedback we're getting for any of our clients that have done that. We haven't had one person come back and go, I wish I would have saved the extra couple thousand. It's one of those things that once you do it, you get it. But if you haven't done it, you're totally going to look at this experience as it comes down to the price point. Do not evaluate it that way. So if you do want to experience it, like if this sounds really cool, come with us on September 22nd out of Port Canaveral on the Disney Wish.
Yeah, there is a link in the show description, or you can just go to creatingmagicvacations.com and submit that plan a vacation form. I personally am really looking forward to a relaxing cruise.
Yes.
And to comparing how this is different than the other Wish cruises we've been on, because I have loved our weekends on the Wish. I think those have been fantastic. But I also want to say sometimes if you really want to plus up a vacation for maybe you're celebrating something, it's a special vacation, this would be a great one to do that on.
I think what I'm looking forward to most on this cruise is being able to get one of the cabanas over at Serenity Bay, the adults only area, which we've never done, because we're going to have a whole group of people. And I think that's going to be one of the best experiences. We've been to Serenity Bay many, many times.
Yeah, we'll see if we can get one.
I think we can. We'll report back. Probably not even in September when we go on the cruise. We're going to let you know because I think next week is when we can actually grab the cabana. We've never done that, and I think that's going to be an incredible experience. So as always, thank you so much for listening or watching this week. Stay tuned to next week's show, number 431. We're going to talk about how much fun it is to resort hop at Walt Disney World. And it doesn't matter where you're staying.
Yeah, and this is going to be a really fun show. And I think it's going to give you some ideas of things that you didn't know that you could do.
I agree. Until next time, have a magical day.
We hope to see you real soon.